welcome back to the Schmitter's 100 Acre Woods. Today we are here at the property doing a little bit, but I thought it'd be an interesting video to kind of show you guys what the property was before we started doing improvements. So right now it's November of 2023. So for about the last year, you kind of seen some of the stuff that we've done here at the property and taking you along on, different trail improvements and different things we've done. So my thought was kind of to do a video to show what the property, what the 100 acres was like before we got it, and kind of some of the improvements that I've done before having this channel. Here I'm out front of the 100 acres, so under the power lines. So this was all cleared before we purchased it. Now, having said that, we purchased it in July of 2018, and none of this was mowed. So all of this had grass that was about 6 feet tall. I'll go ahead and I'll put in video, but I have video. It was right about in this area. I think I remember we got in and started weeding just to try to get a path through so we could see what was even really in here. We'd kind of walked through it before, so we knew a little bit of what it was like, but not a whole lot. And so this was open here, so the fence posts, or the two fence posts weren't there, but that was the drive in. And then all of this over here looked more like that. It had kind of a big berm there, and then a lot of little trees and shrubs and stuff. So we've kind of gotten all that opened up. And this used to be kind of a wet area, and I have some video that I'll put in where a lot of this was just really wet. So it was kind of that July time frame. I believe that we had lots of rain that year, and this entire part here was just sitting water, and then kind of had some cuts in it to get water to run away. So we knew early on that we'd have to do something for the water management and basically just getting water to the drain. So I think within the first year of owning the property, we put in this drain here. So here, this is just a clean out, and we put a post next to it with a locating wire so we can always locate it if we need to. But basically, this is just a piece of corrugated Schedule 40 PVC that we put in, and then put a sleeve over it so that it didn't collect, and then filled it with stone so that all of the water could drain to here. This is probably one of the biggest improvements we've done. It just allowed this to always be a dry spot, and then any surrounding water having this void now lets it kind of drain into here. So it's running right through here. This is kind of one of the areas that kind of got covered over, but still having that void helps. This used to always kind of hold water, and now with that it can drain into there. And the nice thing is, out here there's a ditch that we were able to run this to. So using that laser level, we were able to kind of figure out what our depth needed to be out here, and just make sure we had constant fall all the way. So then here you can see we have lots of wire, and then there is the pipe there. So right now it's been pretty dry, so we don't have anything really running out of it, but we took and ran it all the way across. So that really made a big difference. Didn't have to do too much on this side. It was pretty decent to begin with. Okay, next thing I'm going to show you is going to be just kind of off to the left here of the clearing, and it was kind of another drainage issue that we had. So I'll walk over that direction and show you that next. Okay, so I'm standing in the middle of the road here, which will eventually be the south drive. But basically on both sides of me here we had kind of water spots that we needed to build up. So on the far side over here, over there's a pipe, and we built all that up because it used to be kind of where you drive down and there'd always be water. So we put a pipe in there, and then under this brush here there's a pipe. And this used to be honestly just kind of a mucky, it had years of settlement in it from leaves falling and never getting cleaned up and never being mowed or anything. So there's always just kind of a wet, marshy spot. So we dug all that out, let it dry up, and then brought in some kind of clay, coal dirt, and potted in and packed it in, and now have from up there down to here have some fall so that the water can run. Then we put in a piece of pipe here, and then we just dug a kind of a French drain this direction to get the water to go out to that ditch. So just kind of a cut through. Obviously you can see it's kind of silted in now, and it's not as important. We've kind of gotten other areas cleaned up so it doesn't rely on this as much, but it'd be nice to get this kind of sculpted so that it was more mowable and looked like the spot behind me. So it's kind of one of those long-term projects. We'll get that cleaned up. Those are a couple of the initial projects we did here at the property. I'll go back to the 200 next and kind of show you what we did back there. So we had what used to be the original trail and kind of what we have now. So I'll kind of drive back and show what that looks like now. Okay, so as most people have seen, this is kind of what our trail is now. So it's fairly wide, has a fair amount of room. It's kind of grown in a little bit, just from the grass and stuff kind of closing in, but overall, fairly wide. So it got this wide because if you see this hill here, so this is not the original trail. The original trail is actually over the ridge on that side and was in the bottom. So we kind of had a path over there that we originally used, which is still open down here at this end. I'll drive down to, but I wanted to show you here, we had a path that also went down in this bottom over here, and has since been filled in. But basically what we did was we took and I think we got on this end and basically just started eating this hill away. So this hill is 10 feet 12 feet tall up here, and we brought it all down. There's still a little bit of a hole over here, but one of the valleys from the mining. So we took the top of the ridge and just worked it down into that bottom. And this is how we created this road. And you can see there the all the dirt we had to move, and it goes on for about 100 yards, where it's not near as severe down there, but here's where the majority of it really is, and it has a lot of like the sandstone in it. So it was a lot of work. We took the 62, moved it, got it down, and kind of got initial grade, and then took the small tractor and just started grading and working it in. So that's kind of one of those things that we take for granted now that we did early on, that we now have this really nice spot and everything. So I'll show you the other path. So basically it just runs parallel to this one, but we have it open here at this end, so I'll show you that next. So we did this cut here in between this ridge just so we could kind of get through. So if I walk over here, so this path goes all the way back to our main path. You can see it's just wide enough for the otter or the tractor. We had a lot of spots that had low spots and it wouldn't drain off, so we had lots of kind of standing water issues. This was kind of, if you've heard me mention in other videos about not getting carried away, this was definitely our first go at building a trail. So it's basically just get a path pushed through, just to get, a ways back. And you can tell that, kind of our perspective on things has changed between what we want to get back the trails, but then also, what kind of condition they should be. Here, even if you cut all the stuff that's kind of grown in out, it's still not very wide. And here you can kind of see same deal. This just goes and hooks over, and then the 500 is at the top of that hill. So not not a super big trail, but if you come back over here where the otter's parked, other than the stuff being grown up that we could mow with the tractor, it's all flat and it's much more open here. So again, another one of those things that we did early on that kind of take for granted now, don't really think about, but it was a big chore to get all of this dirt moved and put into this hole and get it filled out so that we have a road like we do now. So those are a couple of the pretty big things we did early on, kind of before I started doing the channel. There's other smaller things we've kind of just done along the way that aren't as pronounced, but there's always room for improvement, things that we're changing, adding, and everything. So thank you for joining me while we look at some of the improvements we've done in the past.